Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Roke here, and yeah, gonna be doing another Star Trek video. For this one, don't even worry about paying attention to any of my characters here because we're gonna start fresh. This is gonna be a series for newcomers to the game. I'm gonna walk step by step from the beginning all the way until you reach level 50, and everything that you need to know will be everything in between. All right, so let's get started. All right, so whenever you first pop up, the characters will be random. So if you ever start a new character, it's going to quite possibly show you up as a Klingon, Romulan here, or Starfleet. Now, just so you know, I am up to date all the way up to season 9.5. So this season, just like all prior seasons back to I think 7, whenever they came out with it, the Romulans, it also includes the Romulans. So you can be on the Romulan side, which they can pick between being for the Federation, or they can pick to be with the Klingons. They don't have their own government style or anything like that just yet. So you can be Klingon, part of the Klingon Empire, Starfleet, or Romulan. But I'm gonna stick to the technically what's considered the good guys in the game, but depending on what side you fight for, you never know. So I'm going to pick the Starfleet here. Now, I've seen a few people tell me that they didn't know and they messed up making their character because they didn't realize, but depending on what style you want to be, it's right here. So, if you want to be a tank, I highly suggest engineer. If you want to be a healer type person, you need to pick science. If you want to be a DPS person, tactical's the way to go. So I think for now I'm just going to read these off to you. Well, I'll just read the one I'm going to pick. I think I'm going to make another tactical character, just so you know. So tactical, combat damage, stealth recon, and squad tactics. The tactical officer can deliver damage in the widest variety of methods while supporting his away team by drawing off enemy threat or bolstering their combat effectiveness with tactics and squad commands. So that's pretty much just the fancy way of saying these guys do a lot of damage, they do it really fast, and it's gonna hurt. So we're gonna pick these guys, and we also want to pick our race. Now, all these races have their own special perks, so you can find that right here and right here. Here's your tactical officer class info, and here's your race info. So I just clicked on, I think, what are these things? Betazoids. So the Betazoids gets all this fun stuff, and I'll let you read through this yourself. I want to try to make these as short as possible. I'll just cover the main ones that I think are important, like 10% accuracy in space for space stuff. Covert plus 30% stealth. So these guys right here, the Betazoids, make perfect tactical officers, because they get that extra stealth boost on the ground if you do a lot of ground stuff. Crippling fire, that's a space one. So accuracy penalty inflicted from a critical hit and with crippling fire, sorry. So they get that. Elusive plus 10% defense. Mental discipline, so they get a resistance to all the confuse and placate and stuff like that you can get hit with. So like I said, these guys are perfect for being a tactical officer, if you ask me, because I mean everything you see here is key if you want to be a good tactical officer. The thing is, I'll tell you in a minute. Never mind, forget that. It's about these abilities. So there's them. I mean, obviously you get humans. Most of these people get the same abilities. You can pick from the same thing. They used to be different, but now for the most part, some of them are the same. And a few of these will be different for depending on the species you pick. Just like these guys right here are perfect for tactical officers too, because if you've ever seen the series where it has an Andorian in it, the Andorians are assholes and all they talk about is fighting. So, yeah. With that said, they're also good for tactical type stuff. Bajorans, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, they are good for engineering officers and stuff like that. So, but like I said, these abilities are pretty much all universal now, almost. Um, they used to be really different to each other, but now most of them get the same thing. Here's these ugly guys. They look like fish. Let's just close that. Fish people. Yay. Let's do a male. Male fish people. Here's the Betazoid. There's the Bolians. Ferengis. They are also the assholes of the universe. You got Klingons if you buy it. Notice this right here has a little marker in the corner. To be able to play these guys, you have to purchase that. And you have to go purchase it in-game from the C-store. So I have Klingons because I thought it'd be cool to have a Klingon character, but I don't use it. Liberated Borg Human. Now, the thing about Liberated Borg Humans is that you have to be a lifetime member to be able to play the Liberated Borg. I think it's a 1,000-day veteran type deal. So you'd have to be playing this game forever or a lifetime member. But I'm pretty sure it's just for lifetime members only. You got Packleds, Regelians, Saurians, Tellarites. They're really short, grumpy people. The Trill, which is like a joined Trill. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a little parasite type thing. Have you ever seen Stargate and whatever those guys are called? The Goa'uld or whatever hell you say their name. It's pretty much the same thing, except you don't shove something in their stomach, I don't think. I think it goes down their throat. I don't remember, but yeah, that's the joined Trill. They're pretty cool guys. But usually it's a human host, usually, as you can see, and it's the markings depicts what kind of Trill it is, because every time you're talking to one of these guys, you're talking to the Trill. You're not talking to the host anymore, and that's completely voluntary for them to do that. And you have the Vulcans and aliens. I'm gonna pick alien because you can make an alien look however you want them to look. So we're gonna do that. Alright, so we've got an alien. Now you can click next, or you can click right here. Appearance. So now you can change their appearance however you want them to look. Also an FYI thing, this is the new uniform, by the way, for the entirety of Starfleet. So, yay. Looks alright, I guess. So I'm going to change this around. He's going to have a humanoid head. Let's see. Head type is human 5. Yeah, we'll go there. Base complexion. Standard, I guess. Tattoo or scar. I think we'll do that. And what sucks about tattoos, if you really want to see a tattoo, you're going to have to change the color to something opposite of the skin. So usually black will do it, and you got to jump the scale up because they do this to it every time. So voila. Ooh, that was ugly. Haha. That's what it looks like. Okay. It's not what I wanted. Nah. What about... Ooh, hey. No. Think I will go with this one. Yeah. Alright. Just lower the scale down and move it. We'll stick it to his eyeball or something. And rotate it around and give it a better look. Rotate. Uh-oh. So you're going to have to do it like that. There. Let's stick it on the other eye. Sweet. This way. And bring it down a bit. Oh, wrong way. Looking creepy already. I like it. Okay. And this part's going to take forever. So I want them to look perfect. Not perfect, because there's no such thing. But you can always try, right? Rotate. Okay, I think that's good enough. Yeah, that looks pretty cool, right? Alright, let's move down. I don't really like the reflective eyes. I think I'm going to go with the slit, make them look freaky. I already have something in mind what I want them to look like, so I think we'll do this. White or red? We'll do white. black whatever it's called, with retinas, whatever, with white pupils. I think we're gonna go with pointy ears. I don't like those. Whoa. Weren't these pointed just... Yeah, look at that. That's kind of weird. Alright. Hairstyle. Now, all the hairstyles are stupid. That's my opinion. I think they're all dumb. So we'll go with that. I didn't change his skin color, so I wanted it to look creepy. So we'll do that, and we'll do... make that white. And... yeah. There's something else on here. I know there is, where you can change his... Is it base complexion? No. It's not that either. It's not that either. Can't change the skin type either. What the hell? Is it because of this? Well, I'm not changing that. They all look stupid. Whatever. I'm sure we'll run into it later. And we'll go with weird bushy eyebrows. And I thought there was another spine one. There's all kinds of shit on here you can put on your character if you pick alien. All the other ones only get like the hairy faces and stuff like that. We'll leave that empty for now. Head attach. Yeah. And that look cool. Kind of creepy, but cool. I like it. And then we'll make these red. With red tips. I'm gonna change his ears though. I know there's a type of ear that I liked. I don't think it was the Denobulan. Pretty sure it was pointed and everything, but I'm almost 100% sure that it wasn't them. Pointed. That's alright. We'll go with that. Let's change his hair color to black. Those creepy eyebrows to black. Mouth accessory, we'll go with the spines. And yeah, I guess it was the spines. That color? There we go. Kind of matches. Whatever. Do some eye patches. I bought these eye patches, so if you want an eye patch, you're gonna have to buy it. Just FYI. But you got these cool visors, though. I don't think I'm gonna put anything on his face, though. He looks cool how he is. Now you can change the size of their head and everything, so you can go deep into depth if you want your character to look just like you. Whatever you want, you know, it don't matter. Now this is the fun part, especially if you pick an alien, because these guys can be up to, I think, 7 feet tall or taller. But he's gonna be, yeah, I guess a regular height, you could say. And he's gonna be thoughtful, so you can change how he stands. He'll do it here in a second. Wait for it. There it is. That's the thoughtful stance. Now you can go through these if you want. I'm trying to keep this quick, so because as soon as I'm done with the character, I'm going to cut it here and make a new video later. So more than likely, depending on how long it's going. Let's drop that down. Bring that up to here. Leave the arms alone. Let's bulk them up a little bit. Not too much, because if you bulk these guys up too much, no matter what species you pick, they look retarded. That's my opinion. They just look crazy. Weird. Okay, so there's that. There we go. I think that's good. Alright, so now if you want to change the uniform, do not leave the appearance area. It's right here. So like you go from head, I forgot to mention that, you go from head if you want to finish changing what his head looks like, you go to body, change what his body looks like, then you go to uniform. Uniform's right there. Okay, so you can pick anything from between jacket tight and jacket loose, and you can come down here depending on what your status is on being a lifetime member or what you've bought and everything like that. Depends on how many things you have available to you. Now, when you first start the game like this, even if you are a lifetime member or anything of that nature, you will not have absolutely everything available to you at that moment. You're going to need to get your character out and all that stuff and finish the tutorial and everything, then you can have everything. But for now, I think I'm going to go with more than likely the Jupiter. Can I do the Odyssey? Or is that just because? Yeah, I can. I don't get the fancy Odyssey jacket, but I can get this one. I think I'll stick with the Jupiter. But I'll do Jupiter 5. Or no, Jupiter 1. That's the one. Okay. And we're going to do... I like the deep blue better. And he's a tactical officer, so we're going to do A7. That's my favorite one. And this will be blue. And this shall... no, this is the one that's A7. And this one... yeah, we'll go with... yeah, we'll do white. Doesn't look right with anything else, really. I like it that way. Looks pretty cool. Let's go with something different, though. Actually, this one we'll do black. Okay, so now I got a top, and I changed colors for it. Just another thing, if you want to use the same color you used before, check out up here, so you don't have to come finding it down here. Also, if it's not showing up there, click on that color that you've already used before, and if you look on my screen, it'll say A7 right to the left there, to the left, top left of this color box. It says A7, and then if you look right over there, it's got a orange box outlining that color. So you go right down to here, there's A7. So let's just do that. You can change the way the material looks depending on your graphics, depends on how well you can see this. If you have really good graphics like I do with this game, you'll be able to see it pretty well. If you don't, then you won't really be able to tell. Matte is pretty much a more of like a cotton type material look to it, and glossy is more like a leather look to it. I always leave it glossy because it's more flashy, even though in real life I would probably never wear that because it'd get really hot. But here's also the color configuration. You can change the way it looks, but it's kind of pointless if you just set up your colors right there the way you wanted it. Okay, so now you come down here, you can pick your badge. If you don't know what this thing does, it's pretty much your communicator slash teleporting locator device. It's pretty much like a GPS and cell phone and everything else all in one. So you can pick flashy ones if you want, if you have them. See, I've got all this stuff because I purchased it, and remember that. Anything with the check mark like that that you see on my screen, I've bought before. So I think we'll stick with the ones that you will possibly have, just so you can see what it looks like, I guess. Well, scratch that. I've already shown you the Jupiter uniform, so I'll just do this. This is the lifetime badge that you get for being a lifetime member. So I always set this up the same. Black, silver, and gold again. That looks pretty cool. Alright, so now you can put your rank on here. Depending on the uniform, depends on where your rank shows up. This uniform, it shows up right here along this bar. Well, along this plane, I guess. Some uniforms has it right up here on the collar too. So if you can't find your rank, more than likely it's always in this area or in this area. So just keep your eyes out for that. Alright, so hands. Since he's an alien, he has the option of having bony claws, long nails, and stuff like that. So we're going to keep it simple. Switch to static stance if you want to see your character's hands and they're not showing them. It's right there. Alright, so we want to do the black. I'm real big about matching, so A7. There we go. I should probably make his hands bigger. Yeah, whatever. And I'm just going to go ahead and stick to the Jupiter stuff since I'm already using it. So there's the Jupiter belt. And I'm going to go Jupiter 5 for the pants. This belt has a lot of customization to it and doesn't really matter. I think we'll go with A7. Now, if you don't really mind what your character's wearing, unlike me, then feel free. Go right ahead and skip all this because he's already wearing the Odyssey uniform, which looks really nice, except I like the Jupiter uniform, so I'm going to stick with that. Alright. And the Jupiter uniform, I'm pretty sure you can still buy separate from everything else. So keep that in mind as well. If you want this uniform, it's going to cost you, but you can still buy it separate. There we go. But also keep in mind that it is a lifetime reward as well if you want the Jupiter uniform that way. I'll go black and red. Alright. So there's his boots. His uniform's good to go. His ugly mug is good to go. Alright, I think we are good to go for now. Might take that tattoo off later. By the way, if you ever want to go change your stuff, it's for free. Now, if you pick an alien, you're going to more than likely get these weird, crazy names that mean no damn sense to me whatsoever. Like, I just saw Merp. Who in the hell is Merp? You know, it's just like, what the hell? But they threw a whole bunch of names in here that nobody can pronounce. Like Jage or Che-Poo. He's got poo in his name. Nobody's going to take him seriously. So, if you want a serious name, feel free, type one in. But I think this guy's going to be Malico. And let's see. Formal name, obviously, Malico. Yeah. Malico, I don't know. Since we're talking about poo, we can call him Malico Butts. Nah. I don't know. We'll leave that blank for now. His name will just be Malico. Alright, random ship name. Let's see what we can come up with. Wartburg, Sierra, Oscar. Usually if you do a random name like this, you'll definitely see some people out there with the same name as you. You know what? Let's go Star Wars with this. Just, I'm going to spell it wrong. I don't want to spell it wrong. I feel like an asshole. Let's go with McKeb. The USS McKeb. Yeah. Alright, so we got a name. We got a ship name. And if you feel like it, you can go ahead and put that in there. And if you're a real big role player, you can definitely do this too. There's a lot of people in this game that do role playing and everything. So if you want to put like a little short biography on where your character comes from, what he's all about and everything like that, and his family values and how he is awesome, whatever, you can put that in there too. But I'm not, because I'm not real big on that. So, engage. Alrighty. Loading. Now, once you load this up, it's going to start you in the tutorial, unless you've already made a character before. If you have already made a character before, this screen will pop up. I don't really know if it does that for new players yet, because I do not have another account or anything like that to be able to tell you. So I'm going to go ahead and do the tutorial. So I'll do that as well.
After I left Starfleet, I made it my life's work to reunite the Romulans with their Vulcan brothers. For many years, I lived among them and waged a campaign of peace. Lived long. 21 years ago, the star of the Hobus system went supernova and sent a wave of devastation across the quadrant. I promised to save the Romulan homeworld. I failed. The planets Romulus and Remus were destroyed. Countless billions were killed. My home, my friends, my life, all are memories. Time does not stop for one man, and neither does history. The chaos in Romulan space gave the Klingon Empire an opportunity to expand its territory. Jimpak, the Chancellor of the High Council, traded diplomacy for the tip of a blade. Only in battle, Jimpak says, is a Klingon truly Klingon. The Federation did its utmost to preserve its alliance with the Klingons, but war was inevitable. Romulans want revenge for their lost world. The Dominion is rebuilding its forces. Now the Borg have reappeared, and the Alpha Quadrant balances on the edge of ruin. The fate of the galaxy rests in your hands.
Okay, so I like telling everybody this, but those guys that are shooting at the end of that little cinematic with those super awesome looking armor suits and guns and stuff, that's a Mako squad. Those are pretty much the um, Marines of the future. But anyways, you'll end up meeting one of those guys in the tutorial, and you end up seeing him again throughout the game here and there, but he's a complete badass. But I'm going to stop it here because that was a little bit longer than I wanted it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on part 2, where we have this character of ours. By the way, since you're still a cadet, it switches your uniform to this. Shut up. Anyways, and also it shows your rank right here as well. See, it's just one of those uniforms, so keep an eye out for that just in case, like, where the hell my rank go? Why is it not showing up? Well, it's more than likely right here. Or, depending on if you get the uniforms that you can purchase, some of them have, I think, one of them has a rank on the side, on the shoulders. But, yeah, that's just a quick thing over there. So I will be back in part 2 for this. Rate, comment, and subscribe if you like what you saw, and there will be more in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.